Stormgame. Hello everyone, today we're watching Kong up here in the top right on the Vanguard, already putting two guys on the Therium. And down in the bottom left we have Aurora, who is better known as Arma, sending out his first morph core. Looks like it's going to be a chamber. So chamber first into a couple of Argents at least, usually 3, maybe 4, and then an array. Here we have third guy going on to Therium, so he'll be using overcharge and boosting not only the construction speed of this barracks and then the mech bay after it, but also just if you watch the workers now return the resources much faster. So there is a slight gain. I've heard the number 40 Luminite being thrown around, and for some reason they said it's 40 Luminite regardless of how many workers you have. As long as you have 4 workers on the Luminite, it just gives you a net 40 extra Luminite by using overcharge. I assume that's not the case when you're closer to full saturation, but between 4 and 10 workers it looks like you just get 40 extra Luminite, and also quite a substantial amount of Therium, I imagine. I haven't seen anyone do the math on that yet, but they do just simply run back and forth so much faster. So we have a hedgehog coming out. This guy's building a habitat. Doubt we will actually lose a worker here. Close, actually. Do get the repair on him. So able to kind of get out of this without any substantial losses. A bit of lost mining time. Hedgehog's almost out. It'll be down about 136. Looks like 138 here. And the 3 Argents are walking home because the hedgehog can. So this is the interaction. The hedgehog can kill an Argent and get back to the main and heal up there. Or even try its luck in the wellspring and heal up there. But that's a bit less, secure because the opponent can chase you there. So here comes the hedgehog. He's met by 5 whole Argents on top of the ramp, so a little bit heavier on the Argents. Oftentimes the Celestial will just have 3 Argents and then be very greedy behind it, but yeah, we have the array only now for Armor, so he's being quite safe here, I suppose. I don't think he's being aggressive with these Argents because they simply won't be able to push into the hedgehogs with the repair and the extra production here. Kong actually opting in to keep his barracks, so you'll see a lot of times the Vanguard will sell the barracks to get out the hedgehog faster and also then to get the expansion, and only then will they expand and then build the barracks. I don't know why it says 16 out of 12 here in the natural. That's very strange. But the array is going up, so he will be ahead. Our Celestial player slightly in economy. Second habitat going up as well, so we are committing into building dogs and hedgehogs here for the moment. Arma's kind of just walking around with the Argents, sending his arc ship forward. And I say walking around with the Argents, he's looking for units that might be healing in the fountain and just to snipe them down, because there's not much else that he can do for the moment. So he's got a Therium Purifier power bank, obviously, to stay out of yellow energy. 2 extra prisms and another prism here. So he's got a very healthy economy compared to Kong, who is still on 1 base. He has overcharged and he's sending, it looks like, 4 servos towards the Stormgate. So this is a healthy amount of Argents too, but 4 hedgehogs, 4 dogs, and now a sentry post coming up. Arma makes the decisive move to just go home. Unfortunately, his arc ship is kind of about, and the dogs and the hedgehogs have already seen this. Makes a morph core as well, which once again alerts Kong to the presence of the arc ship here. Does get the Stormgate with the sentry post and army, and we get a Soul Forge, so able to copy a unit. If he copies the hedgehog or the dog, he'll get 2 of them. Siege is up. Oh, and that's cute. He actually sieges up and then clones it and gets 2 sieged up new hedgehogs. So they copy the state of the unit, which is nice. Able to survive there with the 2 hedgehogs escaping on one with 2 health, one with low health. 1 hog does go down, but this has been a great trade for Kong. So, he's still not got his natural. He's now building it there, but he took a really great trade and got the Stormgate and got the arc ship. Arc ship is being panic rebuilt here. Well, not panic rebuilt here. He just has to simply rebuild this before, he can't build chambers. He can't build power banks. He can, I think, build strike nodes and upgrade them, or link nodes and upgrade them to strike nodes, but that's about it. So he just needs this arc ship back. That's not an option. And you saw that he did mass surge onto 3 chambers, just pumping out units because he lost a lot of units, and he's worried that there's just going to be a follow-up all-in kind of situation. But Kong ended up getting the natural up. I don't think that those workers had any overcharge left on them because he used it to take the Stormgate, but it's hard to say that that wasn't worth it. There is a Morph Core here doing a scout by the looks of it. So actually able to see there, obviously, if we go on to Arma's vision, able to see double mech base. So he knows lots of hedgehogs, maybe Vulcans in the future, maybe down the line Atlas, but he sees the double mech base, so he kind of knows what to expect. And as a reaction, actually a third machine lab, sorry, going down there. Let's see if we saw that. We didn't see that for Arma, so he knows at least 2, but there's a third one and a machine lab too. So, oh no, that is the machine lab. Forgive me. So 2 mech bay into a machine lab. He will be able to make the hedgehog upgrade so that they'll get an extra 2 range on each hedgehog, and that's including the anti-air version, so they become a lot more useful as a backline unit. At the moment, they're kind of a mid-range unit, but then they'll start to outrange the Argents, and that always feels great. You can see there's Kree, Tier 2, 2 Legion Halls, and some Seraphim coming out, as well as the Argent upgrade, so quite a quick transition into Kree, Seraphim, rollout now soon. Coming out, and of course he gets rollout later after the Argent upgrade because he already has a bunch of Argents, but he doesn't have many Kree, so there's no point rushing out that upgrade too hard. He is surging the Guardian Nexus to double the research speed, so that's a huge buff actually, is being able to double the research speed of anything anything you want. Huge play coming in from Kong as Arma goes to the Stormgate. Kong just runs into the natural on the high ground, snipes the array. 1 hedgehog is stuck behind a Kree here. 1 is kind of low there, might die to this Kree if he's not careful. Actually looks like we're able to escape here. We are trying to chase this down. Do get that low hedgehog. Nice target fire there from Arma. But that's about it. That's the big benefit of Hedgehog Dog, is just the mobility. Being able to come in, take out an array. We did lose a couple of units for it, but you can't say it wasn't worth it. This is an insane amount of extra mining that Arma's just not getting anymore. So now actually Kong in the lead. There's no third base for Arma, so Kong in the lead in terms of economy. He is behind in supply, as I say, he did lose some units, and the Stormgate, goodness, went down to in the favor of Arma, but there is a big dinosaur here and Seraphim to spot for the high ground vision, so I can show you Kong's vision here. He's going to just try and get the worker line, doing some good damage there. 1 Hornet tries to poke away at the high ground, giving vision from the Seraphim, and obviously not quite enough. The Argents even dashed forward there to try and snipe the Hornet. Do have a Repair-O-Matic here to try and help out. But actually the hangar bay going down before an evac, I think that was finished. We do have an Atlas, which is cool to see. The dinosaur gets hit by the Atlas, but also kills it in the exchange. 300 health on this Vile Lurker is not too shabby. And it's kind of a reverse, Uno reverse card here, because we were pushing on the low ground, even taking out the array from the high ground. Now we're sitting on the opponent's low ground for Arma. Atlas being mass repaired, hedgehogs have been sieged, killed all of the spotting Seraphim except 1. So kind of able to stabilize here and regain our natural. And the supply actually has evened out during all of that. That wasn't bad for Kong, even though he had to stop mining on his natural. But of course, Arma lost his one, so he was just not mining and producing as many units as he would have liked. Have a lot of prisms over here, just out mining the Therium. You only need 2 if you have the Therium Purifier close to the Therium. And yeah, we're now pulling out all but 1. I would have left 2 on there because these patches will outgrow the harvest rate of the prism, but whatever. And we've just got 7 prisms on the way to this rich gas. And this is a huge perk of Celestials, is that you can kind of always mine Therium as long as you have prisms. There's no real need to put the Therium Purifier down if you have a surplus of prisms like this. Of course, 3 of them will go up onto this array once it finishes producing, constructing. Oh no, another Arc Station has just found its way. Arma needs to stop doing this because, yeah, now the Hedgehogs have found another Arc Station. He is going to get punished for this. Like, the Arc Station isn't actually that expensive. It just slows down any kind of plans that you have as Celestial. So maybe that wasn't even the end of the world for Arma. But yeah, losing the Arc ship, once again having to build it without a Morph Core just slowly like this is quite painful. Do have some Cabals in the mix. The Hedgehog upgrade only now coming out. I guess we were kind of panicking. Oh no. Didn't actually get a Debilitate or anything off of the Cabal there. I'm wondering if it's he turned off Autocast or something, because if he had just slowed that down, that would have been a dead evac with 2 Atlases inside of it. 5 Seraphim. Remember, Seraphim very, very good at killing the Stormgates. They do an extra 300 or 400% damage or something. Power Stone's being chosen here, so probably if we can wait for an Archangel, this is great on an Archangel. If not, honestly, I don't know, like a Cabal might be nice. This gives 100% extra health, 50% extra energy regen, and attack speed. So you can actually put it on the Cabals to give them more energy regen and make them tankier and harder to snipe. But ideally you get a big unit like an Archangel out and put it on that. Could potentially mess around with a fat Saber as well. Atlas drop coming in. Kong playing quite well, you know, getting up to some high-tech stuff here. Hornets, Vulcans. He's using Ramparts a lot. Ramparts put a shield on a building or a unit. So if you get one of those Rampart shields on a Vulcan, or even maybe to save the evac or an Atlas, can be quite game-changing, or at least sway the battle. Bit of oversaturation here. Mining out in the main, do have a lot of spare workers, but we're kind of oversaturated. We have plenty of workers. Might see an overcharge on that soon. Behind this we're getting the Ascension Matrix, which can give us some upgrades, maybe Animancers. We actually have Helicarriers and the Invisible Bombing upgrade for Kong. And we're kind of chilling right now, waiting for the next Stormgate. Neither player really feeling too frisky. Supply is in favor of the Celestial, but that's kind of normal. And there's also quite a large Therium bank for Arma and Kong too. So we'll see what they decide to spend all of that on. Actually getting Resolute Seal for the Seraphim. Since we do have quite a few Seraphim, it's nice to see them being used as a combat unit again. They kind of just annoy a mech player because you don't want to make Hornets if you don't have to. And everything else doesn't shoot up very easily. I mean, the Hedgehogs can do, but then they're stood still against the Kree, so don't really want that. So Seraphim kind of annoying the Vanguard player in terms of composition. And also, we can see there's quite a lot of base defense coming up from Kong. Resolute Seal, once it finishes, will be able to disable a lot of the defensive advantage for the opponent. 2 arrays also going down here. There's one there, and there's even one in the top left. So quite cheeky there, obviously trying to just build an array in your opponent's base, hoping he doesn't find it. You know, even if these 2 extra workers here that are oversaturated were long distance mining this, they would see this, and then we could kill that array very easily. So I'm not too sure about that. Also kind of oversaturated here as well. I wonder if Kong knows something that we don't. Or he just oversaturates with the intention of kind of pulling away to build, and we're still fully saturated. Stormgate uncontested, Kong kind of just defending. He's got a powerful defensive line, really turtling up here, but the Stormgate goes down. So that's the disadvantage of turtling, of course, is you just give your opponents big units like the Deep One or the Swarm Mother, Soulforge relics to copy the big units. 3 Archangels being produced with the Archangel upgrade also. They do have to sit there for a while and just collect some energy. We did surge on the Legion Halls. You can see actually quite a lot of energy on that one. Yeah, we do have plenty of surge, so we could keep surging the Legion Halls if we have the attention and APM for it. Atlas drop here. Bunch of helicarriers, Hornets, a deep one kind of tanking in the front there. Atlas is doing great damage, actually. Here come the Archangels to join in, and you can see there's just not much for the Seraphim to deal with the Seraphim here. There's nothing that shoots up. Helicarriers going down to Archangels. And we won the ground quite convincingly for Kong, but we just have nothing to shoot up. This is why you see some Vanguard players, they really hammer that Hornet production. And then they get a lot of medtechs to nanoswarm everything on the ground. Because pretty much everything on the ground for Celestials gets nanoswarmed. Cabal, Kree, Argent, Saber even. Animancers don't, but everything else does. So you can kind of rely on nanoswarm to deal with the ground, and then just have 100 Hornets to deal with the air. And that is a pretty effective way, and you can see yeah, the benefits of that, because Helicarriers did not do well against air. They did great bombing runs. The Atlases completely destroyed the low ground army that was sat here from the high ground, so that was nice. But you can see just a small amount of units that can fly have been maintained. And yeah, we can see an enormous theft going on in the top left of the map. We also have the equivalent base that is supposed to be for armor, but he's actually managed to snag and steal one of his opponent's critical bases going into the late game. So obviously the trade was kind of okay until the Archangels arrived. Well, not actually, it was really good until the Archangels arrived. But then they did arrive and they actually just swung the trade, and we're also up an entire base. So looks pretty miserable for Kong now. I will say that he's got a lot of resources dumped into base defenses, ramparts, turrets, etc. So unless you get like the craziest amazing trade next to the ramparts, it doesn't feel like this is a particularly viable strategy, right? You're just putting in so many resources into things that aren't helping in the big fights. Had all of these buildings been Hornets, maybe we would have had a different fight there. Pushing forward with a lot of strike nodes, a lot of power banks. Because armor is now full supply, he's actually oversupply, 303 to 300 out of 300. Oh, actually able to save that evac with return to hangar, which was cool. And you can see Kong kind of playing this very systematic, organized fashion, organized style of Vanguard. He's got these ramparts and turrets, he's forming a line, and he's getting high-tech units up behind it. Because obviously the trouble with trying to tech up is that you often die in the meantime. So it makes sense what he's doing. It's kind of like Turtle Protoss into carriers. Gets a decent bombing run there. There wasn't actually anything to shoot the bombers. We do have strike nodes now helping out, and they do provide detection. Don't know if it says that anywhere, but that was one of the recent changes, is that you don't need to surge the static now to detect things. We have an array flying out. I'm guessing this is the one from the main. He's flying out, or the natural. Yeah, he's flying, having a scout, seeing if he can steal his opponent's resources there. But of course, like, what can Kong do now? I guess he can try and get the best trades ever. Armor, very patient, trying to kind of creep forward with static. He knows his army at 300 supply, Celestials, has a huge disadvantage. But he's supplementing it with buildings, similar to kind of Shield Battery Tempest for Protoss. And Kong taps out. But very fun game, interesting style from Kong. I do like that he was able to get up to the evac with Atlases in it. It just feels like that's not an answer to the thing you must have an answer to, which is Archangels in the late game. Atlas is actually super good against Animancers, so if the Legion Halls and the Ascension Matrix were used for Animancers, then I think Kong style would have been really good. But because it's Archangels, Archangels are cool in that if you don't like the ground fight, you can just fly around, dive into your opponent's base, and kill workers until you have stuff that can deal with whatever it is you're having trouble with. So Archangels are much safer than Animancers. as a tech choice, and you can kind of expect them first. So I think the Vanguard needs to be very, very aware of this and kind of pump out Hornets. Hornets are your main answer to Archangels. If the Archangels run into the Sky Mines, they become too slow to do anything useful, and the Hornets can actually clean them up and do damage. But yeah, that was a pretty cool game. I enjoyed it. Arma once again showing us a cool, kind of patient, economy-driven Celestial style. Not very like running in Kree or anything, just very patient, teching into the right stuff, getting upgrades. He's one of the few players I see actually get Resolute Seal on his Seraphim, which is pretty cool. So we do like that. But that's all for me. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.